And the snow monsters will be like...
Cow that is bright red and it has like a bobbing head. Oh, it's like that dress years ago where people are like, is the dress green or blue?
It was going really, really well until I rolled over.
Oh.
Hey, podcast kittens, it's Cathy Cat.
Ladybeard coming at you with another shampoo and conditioning installment of
Cat with Beard.
We are heading up north once again today.
Yes, so this is a part of a Regions of Japan installment of the podcast where we talk about the 9 regions of Japan. Hokkaido, Tohoku, Kanto, Chubu, Kansai, Chugoku, Shikoku, Kyushu, and all the way down to Okinawa.
And today we are heading north of Tokyo to Tohoku.
Tohoku!
Which encompasses like about 10,000 different prefectures all in one bit.
Tohoku is big. There's a lot of things to do in Tohoku. There's a lot of cool places. And a lot of people will have heard the word Tohoku together with the Tohoku disaster that happened.
Yeah,
but Tohoku has so many cool places to offer. They are recovering and there are some places you need to try and see.
Yeah, and now's a good time. They're trying to get people back there now. So it's a lot of encouragement to go back there. So there's a lot of interesting things and a lot of incentives to head on up.
A lot of culture, a lot of fun and a lot of exciting activities.
Hell yeah. So first up, we head to Miyagi Prefecture.
Sendai, yes. So Sendai in Miyagi Prefecture is the largest city in Tohoku and often called the City of Trees.
Yeah. I love trees.
Yeah. Who does not love trees? It's also known in connection to...
That was the worst follow-up to a statement ever. Yeah, I love trees. Hey, I'm so sorry. Please continue as you were.
Let's go and hug some trees.
Look, why not? Hey, save the planet.
Hug that tree.
Hey, Sendai. After you, Cathy Cat.
Anyway, so it's known for its connection to Date Masamune, a famous samurai lord, and you can visit the Sendai Castle ruins.
It's
and
pretty
learn
amazing.
about history.
And apparently in the autumn, the leaves turn all red and gold, and it's a particularly beautiful spot to check out at that time of year.
And then if you go there in summer, there's also the famous Tanabata Matsuri, the Star Festival. You have heard about it before, probably. The entire city apparently is decorated with colorful streamers, making it one of the most beautiful festivals.
It's really lovely, all these streamers hanging off the ceiling like this. It looks very, very nice, doesn't it?
Do you like tongue?
Oh, you know what? Just Monday through Friday, give me all the tongue you can handle.
Okay, well...
Just tongue on my elbows, tongue on my knees.
Okay, this is going really weird now.
Tongue, yeah, thank you. Tongue, yes, please.
Oh, no. Well, actually, we're going to... Sendai is also famous for beef tongue.
Do you love tongue?
Beef tongue, not my favorite, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It's delicious. Why don't you like the tongue?
It's all right.
That's what I get at yakitori. I get a bunch of tongue. I'm like, yeah, give me some tongue.
Yeah, it's consistent to get used to, but apparently, if you can get used to it, then you'll like it a lot.
In Hong Kong, I used to eat pig's tongue for breakfast.
Oh, how was that?
Good. But here we're talking about the pig tongue. Get the old pig tongue and the old, where we at?
Anyways, we're moving to a different prefecture. We're moving from Sendai to Fukushima Prefecture to Matsushima.
Matsushima, Fukushima. So now this features one of Japan's 3 most scenic views. So Matsushima Bay is dotted with over 200 small islands, which is pretty freaking remarkable, all things considered. They're all covered in pristine pine forest.
Yeah, we're back to trees now, pine trees.
Yeah. So, which is pretty remarkable. You get on a little boat, you can have a cruise around the bay. It's picturesque, and we all love things that are picturesque. You can get some of the best views available in the country. And while you're there, you can also visit the old Zuiganji Temple, which is the Zen Buddhist temple with beautiful gardens and caves. I love a cave.
And caves.
Yeah, it's very calming, allegedly. Wait, do you need to calm down?
I
reckon you're out of control.
I'm stressed out too much. I need to calm down all the time.
You gotta head to this Buddhist temple and just chill.
Yeah.
Into a cave. You can chill in a cave.
Or in a cave, yeah. Apparently.
It's also got a place to enjoy seafood, lots of fresh seafood there. Matsushima is known for the oysters. And there are plenty of very nice oyster restaurants. Do you want them grilled? Do you want them raw? Either way, Matsushima is the place to go.
Yes. Another place in Tohoku is actually also one of my favorite spots, is Aomori.
Aomori!
Aomori.
Yeah, I like Aomori as well.
Aomori is awesome.
Tell me about your Aomori experience.
Oh, I have some really good experience. I went there on the Tohoku Emotion. There, like we're talking about Tohoku. There is a train called the Tohoku Emotion.
Emotion.
It's a tourist train. Yep, Tohoku
Excellent.
Emotion. They had to stop it, obviously, during the disaster. You know, parts of the tracks weren't quite safe to be on anymore. But then they actually now have actually made this into one of the most exciting trains I had the pleasure to be on. So in the interior, in it is all Tohoku craft.
Okay.
So it's all craft from the Tohoku region. They're celebrating everything from Tohoku in there, including the food that is served, including the boxes and plates. Everything is made in Tohoku. They're really celebrating that. And to celebrate the return of the train, there will be like kids running right next to the train and like waving at the train. And then there will be local volunteers who will welcome the train with like flags and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, it's one of the most wonderful. This memory is always going to stay with me from Aomori.
What about tongue?
I did. Actually, apples is the thing in Aomori.
Aomori is apple happy.
We're going to talk about that in a moment.
I said Aomori is apple happy is what I said.
That is very apple happy.
But also it features the big old festival as well, the old Nebuta festival.
I always wanted to go there. Unfortunately, I haven't seen it yet. It's in summer,
rad.
so it's quite cold in winter there, but the Nebuta festival is in summer.
They have these giant lanterns of like scary ass gods and whatnot they carry around above everybody's heads.
They're gigantic. It's a little bit like that big parade that they have in the USA where they have like giant
Macy's
figures.
Day.
Yeah, like that Macy Day parade kind
It's
of.
like that, except these terrifying looking
And they're
samurai
lit
lord
up,
god
so
things. Yeah.
sounds
Frickin'
fantastic.
snickety
Giant
snack,
floats.
snack. Yeah, so this is sometimes the thing that they have in Japan, these parades of mythical creatures and gods and samurai and whatnot, and giant lit up lanterns, and people are dancing and playing the taiko drums, and
Magical.
Very, very culture.
If you're visiting in winter, it gets a lot of snowfall. So they're actually one of the snow walls of Japan.
Right? The most snowfall in the
Yeah, I
country,
think the
right?
heaviest snowfall in Japan and maybe
Damn.
even in the world. I mean, there's been some people claiming it's in the world.
More than even Hokkaido with your cow mates, eh?
I don't quite know. We might have to look into that detail-wise. But yeah, it is very, very heavy snowfall. And I've been to the snow walls. Like literally, it's higher than a double-decker bus. The wall of snow is so high.
Wasn't that from Game of Thrones? Didn't they have the snow wall at some point?
Never had the pleasure to watch that, so I don't know.
Leave a thing in the comments. Wasn't there Game of Thrones? Wasn't there a snow wall? They had to go up there?
A comment right now while you're listening.
John Thingamajig was involved? I can't remember.
But we talked, they're very apple happy.
They're very apple happy. They're
proud of their apples.
They have the greatest apples in history. I'll tell you what. I went up there and everyone was banging on about their apples, and I'm like, shut up, it's an apple, how good could it be? And I tasted one of these apples and I was like, whoa, these apples are magically delicious. It's remarkable.
They have like specific breads and breeds that they keep refining and making either sweeter or more sour. And then they have like there's a scale chart, an official tourism scale chart of how sweet do you like your apple, how sour do you like your apple, and then you can adjust it and find just the breed of apple that is just your flavor.
What kind of apple is the Cathy Cat apple?
I think I would go towards sour and sweet.
Oh, okay.
So you get like 2 emotions in there.
2 emotions.
Yeah, so I would go for the Koga. That's
the old
apparently
Koga.
the sour and sweet one on the list.
I just
the
want
broth that we
sweet.
have.
Leave the sour out for me. What's the name of my sweet old apple called?
Odin.
Oh, yeah, the old Ordean. We got a chart here. Tracks the apple sweet and sourness.
Like over just 2 dozen of different apple breeds, and there's probably more.
This one's called Sekai Ichi, which is the number 1 in the world.
Well,
it's
they
pretty good.
have confidence in their apples, that's all I can say.
And while you're up there, you can also check out the Hakoda Mountains, because there's a lot of skiing and snowboarding and whatnot happens up there. And snowshoeing. You have a snowshoe.
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 There is actually more in Aomori as well. There's Lake Towada and Oirase Gorge.
Beautiful all year round, but particularly during the autumn. The leaves change colours spectacularly. Lots of beautiful scenic hiking trails following a river which flows down from Lake Towada. So along the way, you'll pass a bunch of beautiful waterfalls, which is lovely. Lots of lush greenery, which is, of course, beautiful. Towering trees. Back to the trees.
Trees again.
Yeah, back to the trees.
Nature.
Yeah, back to the trees. So it's a perfect nature escape. And actually, Lake Towada is a caldera lake. So it's formed by a volcanic eruption.
Oh,
Yep. So you can see
okay.
these beautiful views of very deep blue water surrounded by the mountains, and it's beautiful. It's amazing.
Sounds
Breathtaking.
fantastic. Nature lovers, that's a place to go.
Do you love nature?
Who does not? But the only thing I don't love about nature is the size of Japanese insects, who are gigantic compared to German insects.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love tongue!
Okay. Not connected at all. We're going to Hiraizumi in Iwate Prefecture.
Yep, so not only is Tohoku full of natural beauty, but there's also a bunch of man-made beauty and historical and cultural sites. So one of the highlights is Hiraizumi. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's in Iwate. So actually, Hiraizumi was once the political and the cultural center of northern Japan. So home to some stunning Buddhist temples. Amazing. And Hiraizumi was founded at the end of the 11th century. Wow, that's a long old time ago now. It's like 1,000 years ago. Holy moly. By your mate, Kiyohira Fujiwara. And here, check this out. After he experienced a horrendously disastrous war, he sought to create a pure land in this world. So in order to repose the souls of those who had died to achieve peace.
Wow.
So the most famous of his creations is a Chusonji Temple, which has the most beautiful golden hall, the Konjikido. So walking through the peaceful temple grounds, you get a sense of the history and the spiritual significance of the place. So check it out if you're into history and culture and so forth, because that's really going to be the place for you.
History and culture.
Hiraizumi!
Yo, next one is Zao Onsen. That's in Yamagata Prefecture.
This looks so cool.
They have snow monsters there.
Snow monsters!
Snow monsters.
Snowy, snow. Hey, you're going to eat your summertime. I'm a snow monster. Nom, 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 nom.
And the snow monsters are actually not monsters, but they're the trees that are covered in layers and layers and layers of snow and ice, so they seem to appear almost like snow monsters.
It's amazing. They got a cable car you can ride, go above the snow monsters, and the snow monsters will be like, and you could be like, I'm too high, you can't get ya. She always been there. Shows, you want to tell us about?
Yeah, tell us about the other part of the Zao's.
Zao is actually famous for skiing as well. But if you want to go there, just be careful the course you take.
Course,
The ski course.
Yeah, ski course you
Tell us
take,
more.
because there's the beginner's course and then like super high level course, which is almost a cliff.
Oh, goodness. Really? Mr. Cliff? That sounds like a fast way to die.
That sounds like a way to lose your tourists.
Yeah.
Yes, but actually it is called in Japanese Yokokura no kabe, which means Yokokura's wall. So it looks like a wall.
Another snow wall.
No.
Back to the Game of Thrones. Here we are. I see. Okay.
So if you pick the wrong course, then you will eventually go to that cliff/wall, and there's no way but you just go. So
There's no way out.
Sounds terrifying.
There's no way out. Hang on. Well, there's no way. So you have to jump off the cliff. How do you get out?
So known as K-path.
You
just like take your shoes and walk somewhere else.
yeah, exactly, yes.
Goodness.
Take your
That
shoes.
sounds very advanced. Take up the skiers, just walk
Oh, I
on your
see.
shoes.
Leg it. I see.
I tried it once
Oh, yeah?
when I was like 12 years old,
Oh, yeah?
because we had like a ski class every year in the winter.
And they sent you down that snow wall? Whoa,
That sounds responsible.
wow.
Good job,
How
Japan
many kids
teachers.
made that out alive?
I mean, yes. I don't remember what happened. For the first like 2-3 seconds, I remember just like sliding it down the cliff. I remember it was going really, really well until I just rolled over.
Oh, you little snowball ni natta hito.
And once that started, you have no choice but to just
Slide
keep on
down.
rolling.
keep on rolling.
Really?
So you never
No
see your
choice.
skis again if you lost them somewhere at the top.
They eventually reached to the bottom of the wall
Like you
after
did?
I arrived.
That sounds brutal.
Wow.
How many kids did take that path down of like tumble-wumbling the whole path down?
They spread the children from like a beginner's class to the advanced class, and I was in the advanced class.
She was a snow specialist.
So like the training teacher was like, let's have a little bit of a try, and then
Really? Did other kids also tumble?
yes, most of the
Most of the kids?
Yeah, most of our friends.
Really?
Some of them managed to get, to the bottom without actually, falling over.
Were there any broken bones?
No, it was okay. Because we are trying how to not get injured when that happens.
That sounds brutal. Is there any good parts that you can tell us about? That sounds terrifying. Let's not go there. Let's go there if you're very advanced. So what there's some sort of lake there. Just terrifying.
But there's there's active volcano.
Oh wow!
There, so it's called the Zao's Okama. Mm-hmm. So it's it looks like a circular crater lake, and then it's almost green, but it changes color depending on the weather and the temperature, and the humidity. It can go really emerald green to really sky blue.
Oh, it's like that dress years ago where people are is the dress green or blue? Is the crater green or blue?
Which one? What color was the dress?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's the eternal enigma, and it depends on what kind of screen you are watching this on.
What color is this lake?
Green or blue? It depends on the season, apparently.
Yeah, but
the way
if
the
you
sun hits it.
Yeah, but if you go there and then if you stay there for 10 or 15 minutes, you can already see the difference in colors.
Really?
Ooh,
it changes that rapidly
then.
Yeah, if you go on a sunny day, yes.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
It's really beautiful, and also it's really on the top of the mountain, so even if you go in a really hot summer, it's really cool up there.
Right, so it's called the Lake of Five Colors, yeah? The
Yeah.
Zao Okama, yeah?
Yes.
Wow, okay, this sounds awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
We have more Tohoku things. I hope you can help us with that too. We're talking about Tsuruga Castle in Aizu Wakamatsu. That's in Fukushima
Aizu
Prefecture. It is
Wakamatsu.
known for samurai.
Tell you what, Aizu Wakamatsu is the coolest sounding of the prefectures, isn't it? Aizu Wakamatsu. I have to flex my back as I say it. Aizu Wakamatsu.
Aizu Wakamatsu has the Aizu Wakamatsu Castle.
Aizu Wakamatsu.
Aizu Wakamatsu during the Japan's Bushin War in the 19th century.
Damn.
Beautiful restored. It's actually a castle you can visit. It's not ruins. It's a castle that has been restored.
Yeah, it's
There's a
super
museum
samurai-ish,
inside.
isn't it? It's the samurai-iest thing you've ever seen. Japan Boshin Castle. Holy moly. So they stick a museum in there now, so you can go in there, you can check it all out. And you can also check out the Aizu Bugeyashiki, which is a reconstructed samurai residence.
Oh, okay.
Which is something. It looks quite cute.
Like long Japanese rooftops with really cool tiles. Those wonderful Japanese roofs. That's something to see. And if you're a visitor there, you can also try Japanese archery.
Archery.
And you can try making akabeko, which are they are like, the bobbing head kind of figurines in the back of cars?
Yeah.
Something similar like that. So it's like a cow that is bright red and it has a bobbing head, and they're supposed to ward off evil. They're supposed to be good. There's one of the symbols of Fukushima Prefecture.
Really? Mm-hmm. Does the cow feature a tongue?
Oh my God! You brought it back!
But this samurai house looks really quite wonderful. The samurai were really quite well-to-do in terms of their finances, weren't they? Back in the day. I can see why. They live in an immaculate house.
If you're not so curious about history and such, there's also some very fun places in Fukushima. There is Hawaiians, which is a big pool area with a hotel attached to it. They have obviously Hawaii hula dance. A lot of it is themed around Hawaii, so you feel like you're visiting Hawaii without ever leaving Japan.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
There's a massive pool area, and there's also a place called British Hills.
British Hills, okay.
Which started off as an academy to teach English. It's like a British town. It's like British houses, British town, everything has British names, British road signs, and students still go there regularly to study English in that kind of environment. It feels like Hogwarts in a way, but you can also stay there in the hotel, enjoy a night there as well, and have revel in Britain without ever having to leave Japan. So it's like the Britain you can visit without a passport.
That was very funny. Hey, why do they make it? For the sake of English teaching?
I think it started first just for English teaching, and now it's also hotel. They have this hall that literally looks like Hogwarts with flags and everything around, lots of seats.
That sounds awesome.
And then they serve you a nice meal there or a buffet depending on what you get. There's also a huge library. There's rooms for majesties in there. There's all kinds of shenanigans there. I wish I'd known about this place during COVID, because if that would have been open during COVID, it would have been tripping to the UK without having to leave the country.
Good point.
Sounded like a little, travel abroad without traveling abroad.
Old Little England.
Little England sounds good. British Hills.
British Hills. You can check it out.
So that's also something in Fukushima Prefecture. There's a lot more in Fukushima Prefecture. It's a big prefecture. There's a lot of things to do.
Yeah, Fukushima's quite massive, eh?
It is.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things to do in Fukushima. I know a lot of people know it from the disaster, but there's a large prefecture with a lot of things to do.
Lots going on. So go and check it out if you're so inclined. Next, we'll head on down to Akita.
Akita! Again, we're talking summer festivals or cool festivals. It has the big called Kanto Matsuri, where people, they balance massive poles with lanterns attached to them on just like one pole. And sometimes it's like up to 12 meters high and has like dozens and dozens and dozens of lanterns. It's like
pretty remarkable.
Acrobatic, spectacular.
Yeah, you have to be strong to keep that bad boy up there.
Strength and skill.
Shows, is it just one dude holding the pole?
Usually it's one person, but if the light is super big, then it's going to be several people holding it.
Really?
It's like rope fight, but trying to keep that thing up properly.
I tell you what, from a physics standpoint, like there'd be so much weight and leverage at the top of that pole. It'd be very hard just from the bottom to keep that thing going.
You have to be an average Ladybeard to be able to hold that.
Hey, Ladybeard's heading on to Akita. Akita. Got nothing. Goodness gracious me.
They're also famous for namahage. Namahage.
Tell me about the raw baldness. What?
The namahage, well, they are terrifying demon-like figures that scare children into good behavior.
Oh, good, because those kids are naughty. Good. Crying out loud, kids. Oh, yeah, and these guys do look terrifying,
They look terrifying. They're scary on purpose. I like to compare them to the Krampus in Germany.
Krampus,
which is terrifying on purpose to make sure that kids behave well.
One of them's got a big old red face. One of them's got a big old blue face.
They're like Aka Oni, Ao Oni,
There's
in a
leads
way.
me to believe they're on either side of a boxing ring. And you stick the kids in the middle. And there's no escape.
They're like bad cop, bad cop. There's no good cop in there. There's no Nicholas, St. Nicholas, who's like the good cop that would be in the German version of this.
Tell you what, in this generation, there's a lot of positive encouragement towards children, isn't there? We don't terrify children into good behavior.
Not anymore, apparently.
Yeah, that was, until this generation, terror for the sake of behavior was quite a liberally used parenting technique, wasn't it?
I mean, there's still quite a lot of things that are like supposed to kind of scare kids or make them cry here in Japan. Like the nakisumo. You know, when you give babies to sumo, the baby that cries first wins the crying contest.
Yeah. I saw one the other day of some department store or something, and their image character, their mascot, was a giant crocodile. And he runs at this little boy. And the boy's terrified. This boy's like, running away. He's like, I'm going to get you. And he just grabs him and picks him up and then carries him away from his mum. I couldn't believe it. This boy's traumatized by the experience. And everyone's like, take that, child.
And that's how you get supernatural horror and thrillers and paranoia and existential fear into Japanese stories.
Yeah, you got to create some trauma young. Shows, tell us a bit more about Yamagata, since that's your field of expertise.
So in Yamagata, there's have you ever watched the movie Rurouni Kenshin?
Oh yes, Rurouni
yeah.
Kenshin. I love Rurouni
it.
Kenshin.
Actually, one scene was filmed in Yamagata City.
Sweet as.
So there is a building called Bunshokan. It was the prefectural government in Meiji era. So it was the building is made in like a mixture of Western style and Japanese style kind of building, and it's like a visual. It looks really amazing.
Great.
And then they have like museum inside it. So actually you can like learn the brief history of Yamagata in there.
Great.
And also there's like that iconic like a fighting scene in the Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, you remember that?
What was it like?
The big fight near the courtyard, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. You remember this in the first movie?
The first fight, Nicole, like, explain it to people who haven't seen it.
If you've seen Rurouni Kenshin, there's a big old fight scene with a bunch of dudes fighting each other with swords. Fellow up in a building who's got like a Gatling gun, which is something for samurai periods. Because it's all about the Meiji Restoration and it's set in that time period, right? So a bunch of dudes kind of wearing Western suits with guns and then a bunch of samurai running around and so forth. But anyway, it's a huge fight scene at the end of the first movie and this is the location where they shot it.
Right.
Yes, and it's open to public. You can go inside and take photos and videos. You can do anything you want there. And also, next to that building, there's also a chapel there. Like again, you can go there and take some photos. Like it's a really good view. It's attached to the huge park with the fountains, and everything is like made in like a Meiji era, like Japanese building style.
Is there like a Yamagata famous food or famous thing to do?
We are famous for cherries.
Oh, from apples to cherries, from cows, apples, cherries.
And actually, like, yeah, we are famous for cherries. Like, I think that 95% of the cherry production is from Yamagata.
Wow, okay.
The entire country. We are proud of our cherries. And then if you choose the right timing, which is the start of summer, if you can book in advance, then you can go to the cherry farm and then do like a picking cherries experience tour.
Cherry picking.
And also there is a winery in Yamagata, because Yamagata is actually famous for fruits, including apples, all kinds of fruits, like grapes, like grapes and the cherries, pears and apples. And then there is like a winery in Takahata City, and then you can just go there and enjoy your wines and fruits wines. It's not only like grape wines, but also we have like cherry wines and
cherry wine. I was wondering about that because you talked about cherries and then wine. And I was wondering, is there a cherry wine? I'm glad there is. I'm glad this exists.
Yeah, cherry wines, you can enjoy that. And also if you go to like Yamagata Station and there's like a souvenir store, you can get cherry wines, like a huge bottle of cherry wines. They always have that one.
So, if I go to Yamagata and I don't know where to go, where would be like the first stop I should go to?
The first stop actually is the first ground on the Yamagata station, because there's like a tour guide corner on the ground floor, and then you can get like a small piece of paper saying where to go. And I mean, it depends on which part of Yamagata you want to go. If you want to go to the seaside, then there is actually really famous aquarium in there. Like they had a huge selection of jellyfish.
Oh wow, jellyfish!
What? I think they have the most number of species in Japan, just the jellyfish.
Really?
Yes.
Jellyfish. So they collect jellyfish there.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Do you like jellyfish?
I think they look funny, and I don't want them to sting me, but they look good.
In Australia, be pretty careful that they don't sting you while you're surfing or swimming. Eh?
In Japan too, yeah. There's after summer in Japan, after a certain month, you're not supposed to actually go out swimming. Off August wise, that's when the jellyfish come out.
Get you.
But if you just look at them in an aquarium, they're beautiful.
But all those cold places that make good rice also are known for their sake, yeah?
Yes, they're good for sake, and actually, Yamagata is well known for ramen as well.
Oh, ramen.
Oh yeah, Yamagata ramen. Yeah, I think I heard about that actually.
What is the difference? I hear a lot of places in Japan that are known for their ramen or their udon and whatnot. Can you give me a breakdown of this ramen versus that ramen?
What's good in the Yamagata ramen?
Actually, we consume the consumption rate of ramen. It's the highest in Japan. Yamagata people eat ramen
Getting
the most.
That carbs in to survive the cold winters.
Ramens, yeah.
Yeah, so we have a lot of kind of regional ramens, local branded ramens. So one of them is a New Shanghai. It's a miso ramen with spiced miso on the top. So you eat miso ramen while you have this spoonful of spiced miso, and then you can melt it as you eat. So that will keeps your body warm up. Yes.
Happy days.
Sounds good. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, I was going to say, sounds great.
If you have a chance to go to Tohoku, I think for me personally, the experience on the Tohoku Emotion is just a wonderful culmination of Tohoku food, Tohoku craft, Tohoku architecture, Tohoku trains, and the people of Tohoku. That was for me just everything rolled into one wonderful experience. But there's tons and tons more things to do. We can't cut this all. There's so much to do in Tohoku.
One of the challenges of this profession is you get to go to a lot of places, but you don't necessarily do a whole lot of things there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been to Sendai, but it was a case of literally we arrived, went to the Gemba, the venue, we did the show, and then we left. So whilst I've been to Sendai, I can't tell you much about it, apart from what its Tower Records is like. But yeah, to that end...
But do you remember the apple?
I do remember the Aomori
Right?
apples. Yeah,
you
they were
remember the
excellent.
apple, though.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
apparently the tongue.
The tongue!
That was your chance to say tongue.
I do love a
That
good
would have been
tongue!
a perfect moment there.
A cow tongue! Imagine where you could imagine a tongue licking an apple, or an apple rest upon a tongue.
Take
I
that away.
love old apple tongue! I'm going to start my own village in Tohoku called Apple Tongue.
This is escalating.
Hey.
But yes,
Hey.
you will definitely, after this podcast, at least remember those two items, I guess.
Yeah, apple and tongue. But apple and tongue is starting to sound like a pub, doesn't it? We'll head on down to the Apple and Tongue.
That's going to be your pub in the future.
Yeah, maybe we'll be starting a lot of establishments, it seems. Pubs and villages and all kinds of tongue and apple-oriented things.
Right, if you want to travel to Tohoku and you're into apples, tongues, nature, history, beautiful things, events, summer festivals, and all kinds of things. Be sure to prepare in advance, have it all planned. Don't get stuck. Some connections are not, as common as it would be the subway here in Tokyo and Osaka, but if you're well prepared, you can definitely make it up there. Yes.
And we hope you have enjoyed this excellent tourism advertisement for a big part of Japan, north of Tokyo but south of Hokkaido, that we merrily call Super Fun Happy Land.
Yes, and this is actually not sponsored, but we
No,
should
not at all.
be.
None of this is sponsored, but oi, tell you what, oi, local tourism departments, get in touch and we'll
Get
sort
in
you
touch
out.
with us. We come over there.
Can, it'll be good.
Yes, all right. I hope you could take something away from our Tohoku special, but there is more about different regions in Japan and then generally stuff where we chat here on the Cat with Beer podcast and wonderful guests we have too.
So, on that note, we look forward to seeing you again on
Cat
another
installment of
episode
Cat
of
Cat
Cat with Beard. Goodbye.
Tschüss.